Hello everyone, it's Felicity here today with a new layout for the In Scrap March Sketch Challenge. Today I'm using some Felicity Jane products from the Sophie collection. I had these two photos of my daughter that I wanted to scrap with her hair braided. So I thought that all these flowers here would be really fun to fussy cut out and pop down onto my page. I actually didn't end up using half of the flowers that I cut out, but that's okay. I didn't really have any direction as such or any idea as to what I was really going to do with the page. Thankfully, with a sketch, it actually takes a fair bit of, you could say, the hard work out, I suppose, because the design's done for you. All you need to do is just, I guess, play and fiddle around and see what you end up liking and what you end up doing, and that's exactly what I did here. And you can see there that I laid all those flowers out just to get an idea of what it would look like, but I'll come back to that shortly. I now start on my mixed media background using lots of Shimmers products. The pink is a Vibes called Sweetheart. It's a really nice bright magenta colour. And then I come in and use a Colourings in No Yoking, which is the yellow. And that teal colour is a Vibes called Jenny B Blue. And it's actually one of my favourite colours that I use a lot of. So I just use the packaging technique that you can't really go wrong with, and lots of paint splatters to create my background. I wanted to have just a little subtle bit of the mixed media poking out behind the photos and all the embellishments, just something soft to take away all the white on the page there. As you can see, now I start to add my layers in behind my photo. I end up using a lot of neutral colours behind the photo. I didn't want anything to clash with my mixed media background, and I didn't want anything that was going to end up being too dark. That little tag, navy tag there, just says special day. I wanted to tuck behind the photo because I was secretly a little bit excited when I found out that my daughter had enough hair to pop into a braid, so I had to document that and the age and the date that it happened, which is just another reason why I love scrapbooking. It helps me to remember all these different little milestones that I know I won't remember in 20 years' time or when I'm in the nursing home. So here I am just fiddling some more. Took me a little while to work out what layers to use and what to pop behind. That little tag there I really wanted to use somewhere on the page, but I actually didn't end up using it. I did fiddle with it for quite some time, but I just couldn't get it to work. I did have a little bit of a fiddle here off camera and end up actually popping two, I guess, circles to add a little bit more interest to the page. I had a fiddle there at the top, which is just laid out so that I could see what it's going to look like. Now I just start to work on the bottom part of my page. That navy and white stripe is the bottom part of the papers that you generally cut off and chuck in the bin. Well, I actually turned it over and saw the navy and white stripe and decided to use it. Just brings through then that pattern from on the photos and the navy from the little tag that's popped in there behind the photo as well, just to add a little bit more flow to the page. Just popping everything down now, mostly with 3D dots and a little bit of glue on the dot. Those 3D dots are actually self-adhesive, but I just find that they don't stick as well to the mixed media background because it's gritty after you put some gesso and product down. So I just add a little bit of glue to the back just to hold them down. You can see that little rubber word sweet I really wanted to use on this page, along with some little hearts. There's lots of cute little rubber embellishments from the Sophie range. As you can see here, that's a self-adhesive cut apart from the Sophie range, which I was really happy with. But I fussy cut that out and popped it down. You can see those two little wooden veneer leaves that I've got laid out there at the bottom of the page. I actually turned them into a butterfly because I thought the leaves looked a little bit like butterfly wings. You can see that little rubber word sweet just seemed to add, will be the right title, I guess, for my page. My daughter sitting there on the chair while she got her hair braided. Still tucking bits and pieces in behind my photo. And you can see up the top as well, there's a little triangle that says, pink triangle that says happy. I actually end up turning that into a flag and pop a toothpick behind it and some twine wrapped around the toothpick and pop it in, which is just another little subtle feature to the page as well. And you can see there, which I will show you in a second, the group of love hearts there on the right. A little banner of love hearts, I guess, was something that I really wanted to use on this page somewhere because I absolutely loved them, but I just couldn't find the right place for them to go. I hope you pop over and have a look at the In Scrap March sketch at www.inthescrap.com. Sketches are just a good way to get your creativity going or to try something a little bit new and something a little bit different. It's definitely something different for me here using two photos. I'm not generally one that uses more than one photo, so I was quite thankful when I saw the sketch and was able to use two photos because I really actually enjoyed the process of using two photos and the finished layout as well. I loved working here with the Felicity Jane Sophie kit. There's the little love hearts I just couldn't find a place for. Last year my husband asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I said there was one thing that I really did want that I'd been looking at for quite some time. I told him it was a subscription to the Felicity Jane. So he said that I was allowed to get it for my birthday. He didn't need to tell me twice. So I'm very excited when I receive my black and white box each month, purely just for me and my enjoyment, to use some Felicity Jane products. Now decide that I want to back my page onto something. I try that black and white cross. It just doesn't look right. I end up using that pale pink because I absolutely love the scallop border there at the bottom. So I trim it down and pop it behind my page. And just adds a little bit more depth and character to the page without taking away the focus from all my photos and all my embellishments. And I end up blanket stitching around the left side of the white cardstock and the bottom of it off camera. And I also do some hand stitching there with the timber leaves to turn it into a butterfly off camera as well. I do a fair bit of stitching on my pages, whether it's hand stitching or machine stitching. Page just doesn't seem complete to me if I haven't got some sort of stitching on it. You can also see there too that I've popped in some white muslin to add in some more texture behind my embellishments and my photos. And I also pop on some sequins as well, just to add a little bit of glitz to it, I guess. And here I am, last minute, trying to decide if I want to pop any stamping on, which I actually don't end up doing. You'll see in a sec the finished layout, which I actually really like now. And there we go. You can see the hand stitching and the top of the page as well, with it tucked over and all the dimension. A little butterfly that I made out of the wood veneer leaves. It's really cute. And my journaling. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching my video today. I'll leave all the links down at the bottom to my blog and to the March sketch in the scrap. Thanks for watching.